What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sure we get up on YouTube here in just a couple of seconds. I'm looking at the stream right now as it is connecting. Just give me 1 second here. There it is. Now we up on YouTube. Good morning, YouTube. Just give it a couple seconds. Let people find the show. Hey, Brenda, thanks for being here. Sit tight. I'm gonna play it just wait, maybe one more song, just to give people a couple of minutes to find the show. I'm gonna post it to different places, and then we'll get the show started officially, shall we? On today's show, what a week. I want to look back, somewhat of a week in review. You know, that is the style that I bring to the table from time to time. And I want to look back to some very interesting things that we never got a chance to talk about. So I want to focus on that. But good morning to you. Thank you for being here. And we'll get started in about 2 minutes.
Love interrupted by tragedy, lost in the drought of nightfall, running in search of the remedy, trying to find her place in it all, focused only on the negative. All she can attract is pain. Perception is what will manifest. Thought she could escape, but it's all the same. Birds fly south for the winter, but she ran to the west side. And though much was stolen, much still abides. And I know she'd rather keep her distance, but as time moves on, she's drifting away from me. But did the ocean breeze specify you? Did the palm trees sanctify you? I bet the ocean breeze did advise you that you'll never find you on the run from yourself, on the run from yourself. Concrete will shape to quicksand. Just when you think you're in control, but you're not alone. Take my hand, no shame in the surrender to a bigger picture. Birds fly south for the winter, but you ran to the west side. And though much was stolen, much still abides. And I know you don't wanna burn bridges, but as time moves on, you slipping away from me. But did the ocean breeze pacify you? Did the palm trees sanctify you? I bet the ocean breeze did advise you that you'll never find you on the run from yourself, on the run from yourself. You thought the grass was greener, but she was safe all along. City of mine, how I love the city of mine. It never gets me down. City of mine, how I love the city of mine. It never gets me down, yeah.
I was born in the city,
I was raised on its edges. My pop worked his life on its complex. I found love in its center. If I could live here forever, think it'd be for the better. I love the weather, even though it's fog 24/7. I love the people. This is a city I met all my best friends, and I wanna thank every brick. I wanna thank every entrance to every building that I step in this city of mine. Oh, you most my best moments in life. See, I fell in love for the first time in Golden Gate Park. I saw my first rap show at Great American Hall. I used to beg my homies for a ride across the bridge to goof off and spend the whole damn day doing whatever we want. Keith drove us down to Ike's place while we roll up a blunt, and me and Jack would get stoned, walk around and get lost. Don't think I'll ever truly pay back all I was lucky to get just by walking through the city. No, I'm a small part of this.
City of mine, how I love this city of mine. It never gets me down. City of mine, how I love this city of mine. It never gets me down.
I never really had a place to call my own, so I travel and I roam till I find that. But I'm full of adventure, so I wander and I venture, and it's safe to say that really I don't mind that. I book a flight to try to figure where my mind's at, a spot where I don't spend no money, just some time at. I mix and mingle with the people till I learn a little. I brought some weed and baby, maybe we could burn a little. She said you're funny, I said no, I'm David, and I left. Sun shining, birds chirping, let me take a breath. I'm headed to the city where my chance to make it best. Where people like to give a little, then you take the rest. I'm hoping one day maybe I can find a place to rest. I fell in love with life and wonder where it take me next. I like the hustle and bustle, I fell in love with the fashion. I feel the pulse of the city, it's moving me like a passion, and it's mine.
How I love this city of mine. It never gets me down. City of mine. How I love this city of mine. It never gets me down. Me and my hometown, baby, we go way back. All the situations, circumstances, still we don't mind. Steady going on, I dance around the street lights. Hey, I know every street sign, hanging around the block like if you are my friend, then you are welcome any moment. Yeah, city of mine, how I love this city of mine. It never gets me down. City of mine, how I love this city of mine. It never gets me down.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Picking the locks to your brains and coming through blasting. It's the Nathan Ivey Show, aka the last honest place in America. Welcome back. It's a Friday. Do not pronounce the D. It is a Friday. I'm feeling great, and as always, it's my pleasure to be with you. Man, it's a lot of shit going on today, and I thought I was going to have to end the show a little bit earlier, but I got a message this morning saying, nah, you good. But I got a few things, man. It's going to be a really busy day. Let me give you a heads up that the Is It Just Me podcast will not stream today. Donnie's got, she's not going to be streaming today. We'll put it that way. And just make sure you lift her up in her prayers. I ain't saying nothing's wrong or anything. I'm just saying everybody needs prayers from time to time. And but hopefully she'll be back next week. I will be streaming. I plan to stream a week from today. Um, and just to give you a heads up, so I plan to give a full week's full of shows for next week from this page here on CDM. And good morning to you. And as always, it's my pleasure. Now, if it's the first time you checking out the show, this is my home studio. This is where I do what I do, whether I was streaming or not. For many years before we started streaming the show on video, when I did just the audio portion of the show, this is the same room I was doing in, books and shelves and plants and shit. Just a home. You're more than welcome. This is a black family show, meaning that, I'm a black male. That's the only perspective I know to speak from. I don't speak for all black people because that would be too damn arrogant. And I'm confident. I won't say arrogant, but I ain't that arrogant. I speak for myself. And if you're just tuning into this show, I broadcast live from the greater Cincinnati area. Now, if you're just coming across this show on YouTube or maybe on TuneIn, I've been a broadcaster for 20 years. In every level of broadcasting that I've been on, I've won every level. When I was in public radio, I won. When I was in corporate radio, I won. And now I'm winning in the digital realm as well. And we are winning, creating and amplifying black voices. That's my personal mission. I believe in black voices and progressive voices. Everybody has their own personal mission. That's what I'm into. Because at least in the city that I'm from, I feel like there's still room for more voices and independent media. And that's what we're building here every single day. So thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. And thank you to my patrons who I'll be shouting out later on in today's show. Your support means everything. It allows me to do different things. Like I said, right now I'm looking for a new studio space. I think I found a good one and need to move to solidify that deal. And if it goes through, then you'll be the first to know. And I'll invite you over. We'll have a good time together because things are changing. Everybody's going back to normal, the new normal. And the new normal is that COVID ain't going nowhere. Have you heard about this Delta variant of the coronavirus? Hold on. Somebody's sending me a message. Okay, great. Absolutely. Absolutely. Have you heard about this new? Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you for being here. I know a lot of people are migrating over to YouTube because Facebook is still tripping, but that's okay. Facebook can trip. That's their platform. Let them do what they want to do. What we build, no man, no single entity or platform can stop. But thank you for finding us on YouTube. I mean, shit, I'm on YouTube more than anything else. In fact, I'm on YouTube more than Facebook, quite honestly. As if you look at the numbers, are the vast majority of people. YouTube is by far one of the most popular social media platforms, search engines, however you want to look at it. But I love it. I love it either way. As long as I can be seen and heard, it's great. And it's great. And it's really interesting how the show has evolved. Like I said, this started out, I came from the world of radio. So that's all I knew. I knew audio. I didn't know video. But you got to adapt. You got to change. So I started doing the video portion of the show. And I think people like it. So I have no plans on stopping doing either or. I like both of them. And there are audiences. I have an audience on both sides of it. There's a lot of cross-pollination, but there's some distinct people. There is a significant portion of the audience on a daily basis that just listens to the audio. And I understand it. I'm an audiophile myself. I get it. They just don't want to be hassled with the video. They just want to hit that play button and listen while they're at work. I understand it. And that's why I do it. So good morning to you. So what can you expect from a show like this? You can expect what I hope is what I call superlative flows. It's a phrase that I coined many years ago. And what it means is hopefully intelligent diatribes, intelligent flows. I won't call them rants, but intelligent, witty repartee, as one of my favorite talk show hosts of all times used to call it, witty banter, witty repartee on the day's issues. Now, this is a show that is built for the internet. I've built this show for the world that we live in, and we live in an internet digital age. Hold on a second here. Oh, absolutely. You already know. I got you, sis. Thank you for letting me know. I love what you're doing. I love it. Anyway, I want to let you know about something going on today. Somebody just sent me a message. You already know. 100% you got my support. But anyway, so I built this show to be a show that's for the internet. And even when I was in commercial radio, I started to realize maybe I want to do something a little bit different, start doing my own thing. So if you're looking for like the typical views from a black man, I ain't so sure you're going to find that here. You know what I'm saying? I ain't so sure. You might find some of that. Maybe you won't find some of it. I don't really know. But we talk about people, politics, and say it with me, pleasure. Okay. I'm a people watcher. And so are you. You know, via social media and Instagram, all you doing is people watching. That's all. I'm a people watcher. I love to observe human beings. Politics, which you just can't, everything is political. And for black folks in these particular times right now, focusing on politics and policy and equity and tangibles, especially as it relates to the city that I live in, which is Cincinnati, Ohio, it's just what you're gonna get. I can't do a show and not talk about these kind of things. What's the point of it, right? That's what's really relevant. Pleasure. Well, I'm an adult and I like all the things that adult black men like, right? And I'm a human. And I like all the things that humans like. So all the things that bring us pleasure, we'll talk about as well. And that's a wide range of things. Get your mind out your gutter. I ain't necessarily talking about that gutter talk, although we'll hit that too. We'll hit that too. So that's what you get with the Nathan Ivey Show. You get superlative flows on people, politics, and pleasure from one man with one mic with one mission. And my mission is to amplify black voices in the city that I live in and beyond. And we're doing it with your support and your help. So again, folks, you know, to my choppers and to my patrons, I say this again. I have very thick skin. Very thick skin. If you ever hear or see something, maybe it's a show and you got an idea, hit me with a direct message. That's the best way to do it. If you leave it in the chat, I might miss it. And your opinion is important to me. So hit me in a direct message if you got an idea, and I will respond. I will respond. You're like, Nate, I think you should do this. Maybe so. I'm not saying I will 100% take it, but we've been doing this for so long together. I'm the host. You're the audience. It's a symbiotic relationship. This don't work without either one of us. So who else would I go to for advice and support or anything else? I'm going to go to you first. So just so you know, that's what we're all about here. And maybe if you're just finding us, turning the dial, so to speak, or maybe we've been recommended on a social media platform, now you know what you're going to get. The other thing you need to know is that when you call in and use our number, 513-873-7134, there is a maxim or a rule. Very simple. And it goes like this. Open your mind before you open your mouth. Simple as that. As long as you do that, we are all good. If not, a tisk with the flick of the wrist, and we're going to have to keep moving on to hopefully something that's more worth our time. That's it. We can always agree to disagree. It's going to get emotional. The Chop Shop has earned that moniker because it can be a briar patch. It can be a rough road. For me too. Believe me. The choppers don't mind telling me about myself. And I've learned to have thick skin and just take it and deal with it. You know what I'm saying? That's the way you deal with critiques. You ask yourself, is this coming from a valid source? Okay, it's two stages to critiques. Is this coming from a valid source? If it's not coming from a valid source, you don't even get to step two. It makes no difference. You disregard and keep moving. If it's coming from a valid source, you move to step two. Step two is there any substance, any validity in this critique? If it is, man up, deal with it, absorb it, and get better. That's all you do. And that's how you survive this game. That's it. I've talked to people who step into this arena and they belly aching because people critique them and say things, and it just blows my mind. I'm like, well, then get off the stage then. Anytime a human steps on the stage, you got to deal with the heat. It comes with the territory, and I'm pretty used to it. So let's go. Not to say I don't have my points. I'm human, but it comes with the territory. We got an early call. Who is it? Let's see. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Thanks. Good morning, Nathan. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, Fame. Welcome to the show.
Yes, sir. It's always a pleasure. I ain't got much. I just wanted to say, shout out to Samaria Rice. She called out that white grifter, which I've been telling y'all about for damn 7 years now. Shaun King's a grifter and cannot be trusted. And she finally called that asshole out. Finally, somebody called him out. She said he's a white man acting black, profiting off of black death. And this sister should be supported. There should be nobody questioning what she's saying about Shaun freaking King. Anybody who's trying to go against her or go against what I'm saying, you're clearly an asshole. Shaun King has built he lives in downtown New York City in a building with a doorman, like Ralph on the Jeffersons. That's how he living. Off of all this black death.
But you know what? Didn't Samaria Rice also call out the sister? What's her name?
Tamika Mallory.
Tamika Mallory.
I mean, my son dies and you talk some greasy stuff about it, and then all of a sudden got a Cadillac commercial. I'm gonna call you out too.
Right.
How she's been calling all of them out. The sister's obviously hurting.
Right.
Let's be honest. She's one of the only ones whose relative got lit up by police and didn't get paid because they said it was whatever. But it's the Shaun King angle because a lot of your fans, a lot of your listeners, been loving that white man. And who's been? Come on, Nathan. Who's been since day one saying don't F with dude? Who was that? Who's the one chopper that you know of since day one been saying do not F with Shaun King?
The same chopper who's the only one to call in and each call with howling. The same one.
Yeah. That superlative Negro. You know what I'm saying? I was out in the front on that 7 damn years ago. Hey, y'all can't tell he's white.
Wait a minute. Are you acting like because Samaria Rice said this about Shaun King that validates what you said about Shaun King? Is that what you're trying to say?
Validates the F out of what I'm saying. What I've been saying.
I don't think so.
I don't care what you think. I called in to say what I think. It don't matter what you think on this one because the mother of the youngest of all these victims concurs with me. So you can sit there and try to disregard what I'm saying and dismiss it.
Now you just said the sister's in pain, right?
Yeah, she's in pain.
And sometimes when you're in pain, you lash out. Sometimes you see things irrationally. Sometimes you think things illogically. Maybe that's what's going on.
And she's had enough time to think and realize that this movement has been playing black people.
So tell me how Shaun King has hurt black people.
Because he's another white man profiting off our losses. Al Gerhard Sting's grandson. You know what I'm saying? We cannot have this stuff. People, he's had like 4 or 5 different websites asking you to donate money to him so he can live downtown New York City, East Side, with a doorman. If you live in New York City with a doorman, you popping. You got some cake. You know what I'm saying? The New York Daily News fired him because his stories were fraudulent and plagiarized. I thought, this guy ain't a writer. He's a blogger. He never even leaves his desk. He's never been to none of these movements.
Do you know?
But when he first started, he kept trying to link himself with DeRay McKesson, another fraudulent person.
So your issue with Shaun King is that he's white. Because if he was a black dude doing the exact same thing, you'd have no problem with it. Is that correct?
No, because I have a problem with DeRay McKesson.
No, I'm talking about Shaun King. Your issue with Shaun King.
No,
if Shaun King was black, you would have no problem with what he's doing.
Please try to pay attention, Nathan.
I'm trying.
I have a problem with DeRay McKesson, what he's doing. He's the black Shaun King. What are you talking about?
I'm just asking you. So what you telling me? If Shaun King was black, you still have a problem with him?
Yes, with what he's doing. Yes. Yes.
Did you know that one of the things that Shaun King is doing is he started a PAC called Real Justice, and they're supporting progressive and black prosecutors in races all over the country. Did you know that? Is that detrimental to black people somehow?
And O.J. Simpson wasn't looking for Nicole's murderer. What the hell are you talking about?
I'm just saying.
Come on, man.
You and I both
Stop
know
it.
that around this country, the majority of prosecutors are white male, and they're not friendly to black defendants. You and I know that. This man started a political action committee that's trying to reverse that. This PAC actually endorsed, I believe, Fanon Rucker here in Hamilton County. That sounds admirable to me.
Yes. And Fanon Rucker is the prosecutor, right?
No, he's not. But I'm just
saying.
So
you don't get plaudits for doing something that's ineffective.
Oh, please
that's
stop.
Only
please stop. That's more on the people than them. That's more on the people than them.
Only a slave mentality will commend white people for reaching out to you, even though it's ineffective.
I don't really give a damn who. Listen, you and I are different, man. I don't care if Shaun King is white or not. All I care about is he delivering equity, policy, intangibles. And on the surface, it seems like he is. Or at least he's trying to.
What you're saying is you respect Shaun King more than Samaria Rice. Okay, I know what type of brother we're dealing with.
I see them the same.
That's what you just said on this phone call.
That's not what I said. That's what you heard.
That's what you
But again, you're a dude that ends every phone call about howling, so you're a little bit off. So you're hearing me. Your hearing is off. Your hearing is off.
And
I'm just saying,
I end every
you're a
phone
little
call
bit
by
off.
Howling. And
your
you know
views
what?
are a little bit off.
Gonna be real hard today because last night it was a super moon.
And the way that you hear things is a little bit off, fame. That's all. Be real, bro. Just accept it. I'm still trying to figure out the damage that Shaun King has done. Every time somebody criticizes him, it's like, oh, he got a book deal. He's profiting. But I'm like, well, look at the totality of what the man is doing. Is he doing more? Him making money, how's that harming us? If he's still out here trying to fight for equity, policy, and tangibles, what's the difference?
I cannot believe that I'm on the phone at 8 a.m. with a 6'4" black man from Cincinnati who is
That's because you're a little bit off.
What is up with you defending liberal white men?
I'm just trying to defend common sense,
you love
brother.
them.
I'm defending common sense, and I'm pointing out where you're a little bit off in your observations. I'm just challenging you to give us a real reason why you don't like and why we shouldn't like Shaun King. So far, I haven't heard it. I haven't heard any real reason.
I'm not trying to convince you. Samaria Rice should be convincing you. Not me.
That woman is hurting. She's lashing out, obviously. So no, I'm not going to put a lot into that.
Now we're going to just disregard her because her son got killed.
No, I'm not going to disregard her. I'm going to put it in a proper context. The woman, you just said the woman is hurting. That's what
Brian Taylor would say.
You just said the woman is hurting.
Yeah, that's obvious.
You just said the woman is hurting.
And you're using her pain against her.
I'm not. I'm just putting her pain as a part of the conversation. She's lashing out. Obviously, there's something going on.
Okay.
And she's lashing out at different people. Okay. I get it. It's a part of the grieving process.
Nathan, this is quite possibly the most disappointing take you have had in your podcast, public radio, and commercial radio career. How do you go just disregard this sister like this?
I'm not disregarding her. I'm putting her in a proper context.
You're putting her in a proper context of a woman who got played by a white man. That's the proper context. How did she get played
by Shaun King?
I'm taking her word.
How did she get played by Shaun King?
Go on my Facebook page. The article's there.
I'm looking at it right now. I'm asking you. You just called in and brought it up. Tell us how Shaun King is playing Samaria Rice.
I just told you.
No, you didn't.
I just told you. He's profiting off of black people. He goes from Atlanta to NYC in a door and with a building with a doorman. Mm-hmm. Don't just anybody live in a building with a doorman.
Uh-huh.
The only time that's been it's so rare. The only time it's been depicted on television is the Jeffersons. Damn, what's wrong with you? You should be ashamed of yourself right about now.
Likewise,
you need to stop this show and start this mother over.
No, I don't.
Because you're making me spill my yacht.
Not doing that.
You understand me? You like Pinky's limo driver right now.
What the fuck?
You're hitting them corners too fast. You're hitting them corners too goddamn fast. You need to slow this motherfucker down.
What the fuck you just say?
I'm up in Akron. I'm up in Akron right now. I might search out Samaria Rice.
You is on tear right now.
And holler at her.
You just don't know.
You wildin'. This is the most disappointing. This is the most disappointing host. This is the most disappointing take from a black talk show host ever. You defend Shaun King, Dave Zirin, Joe Biden. You love white male liberals.
You put Dave
You should be
Zirin in
ashamed of
there.
you.
You are wild,
What?
man. Dave is the truth, man. You better get his books.
Them your favorites. Them your look at you. Dave,
if you want to get hip to that
Dave is the
intersection
man,
between
boy.
sports and
Shit.
politics
Dave
and
should have.
black culture, go check out Dave Zirin, man.
Dave's
He's a
so
hell of an
damn
author.
great. Dave's so damn great. He's a hell of an author. He created the alphabet. As far as I'm concerned, that's you. That's how you sound right now.
You sound crazy as
you
hell,
should be ashamed of yourself.
You sound crazy as hell this morning, but it's hilarious, man.
I'm disappointed. Disappointed. I am not enriched.
You is nuts,
I'm disappointed.
Man. You wild.
I am not enriched. I am not ennobled right now.
I wasn't trying to enrich you or ennoble you. I'm trying to set you straight. I'm trying to correct your ass, but you're so incorrigible. You don't want to listen.
If I've given you, if I've given you 1,000 shares, I would like to take 100 of them back right now.
Why not 250?
I would not want to share.
Get
I would not want to share. I would not want to share this message that you are that you are.
I don't blame
you
for not wanting to share that message because you sound
and
ridiculous.
This is
you haven't offered us any evidence
whatsoever.
Not even any good ideas.
You
ain't gave us no. He's got a doorman. I don't give a damn if he's got a doorman. So what?
Okay. Listen. Parcel it all together. Read the article, and you will see. You just don't want to say
I'm looking at the article
because
right
it'll make all those hating. It'll make all those haters of the alt middle look foolish, which they already do. Everybody knows. Just nobody likes to admit it. You know what I'm saying? That's all. But I'm not even asking for props. I'm just saying thank you, Samaria Rice, for having a heart to call out this sucker. If you can't agree to support her, then, brother, I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, I support her in her opinion. She's entitled to say whatever she want to say, whatever she want to think.
Okay.
But I just challenge you to give me a reason why we supposed to not like Shaun King. And all you told me is that he's white and he's got a doorman and that he's profiting because he wrote some books. And what's that supposed to tell me? Nothing.
He joined the Black Lives Matter movement, him and all the gay people. DeRay McKesson, Johnetta LZ, they've been playing us the whole time. I've been saying that since day one, since Mike Brown. All the Ferguson people been saying the same thing about these people.
Right. You're right.
And the only one who you defended is the white guy. I find that to be very peculiar.
Is that right?
But hey, that's Nathan Ivey. He's a liberal. You know, he finds progression in supporting white liberals. Shame on you, B.
Shame on you, B.
I'm going to continue to listen because I love you, but I don't know if I'm going to share this episode because I don't want people knowing that this is the nigga that I listen to.
Don't share it. I only want you to share it if you feel like it's shareable. So if you don't feel that way today, then maybe Monday we'll have a show you want to share.
This is a horrible message. I don't want the
It is a horrible message.
I don't want the kids to hear this. You should be disappointed in yourself.
Nah, nowhere close to it. You should be disappointed in yourself, man, because you throwing hate on this man, but you ain't giving us no real reason behind it. Talking about he got a doorman. Ridiculous. I can see if you came with some real points. I'd say you got some real points, but this morning I'm disappointed and do better.
I might, but I think I did my best.
You got it in you. You got it in you.
I've been bringing it to light for 7 years. I don't know what more you want. That's Dawn, you know.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know what more you want. I've been telling you for 7 years. It's finally coming to light. Thanks for waking up. It's been real. I had fun. And before I go, like I said, it was a super moon last night.
He's wild, man. Talking about he got a doorman. He is nuts. I'm looking for the evidence. And whenever somebody brings up Shaun King or something like that, I always ask the same thing. Tell me why? What's the evidence? Why don't we like him this week? Okay, great. You don't have to like the man. I'm not telling you to dislike him or to like him. I'm just saying, where's the evidence? So then put it in front of us, and then we can look at it and decide how we feel about it. But Tamir Rice's mom she's setting the record straight. And basically she's not mad. I can't really speak to her attitude, but she had an issue with Shaun King because, he was telling people about a conversation she had. Then she came back like, wait. Don't act like we made some big progress here or there. So I'm happy for her. Keep calling them out. Now, Samaria Rice, she lost her son, Tamir Rice, 12 years old, back in 2014 after a police officer, this happened in Cleveland, basically gunned him down at the playground within seconds of seeing him playing with a toy gun at a park. Somebody called in. We played the 911. I can never forget it. The good citizen said in the 911 call, I think it's a toy gun, but when the officers showed up, they act like it was the damn Unabomber. And this dude jumped out of a moving car and shot this young boy and killed him. And really, into my opinion, was not really held accountable. That's the mother of Samaria Rice. And she's putting it out there that there's about $60,000 that she says that Shaun King raised for Tamir Rice's family, but she says she never gave permission to use her story or whatever to raise that money. Hey, again, if he's fraudulent, call him out. I got no problem with it. Call him out. Quote, please stop thinking we're on the same page. As a white man acting black, you are an imposter that cannot be trusted. So again, nobody can, if she has a personal experience with Shaun King and she want to tell it, she should tell it. That's her story. But you tell me. Dale writes, Nate, did you see the reports that current COVID deaths are from unvaccinated people? Is that right? That right. Let me check this out. AP News, nearly all COVID deaths in the U.S. are now among the unvaccinated. Let me tell you, so you know, I have been vaccinated. The wifey has been vaccinated. My experience with the vaccine is 2 shots. The first shot, my arm was kind of sore. The second shot, a lot of people got sick. They had flu-like conditions. None of that happened to me. When the wifey took her second vaccine, she was down for 2 days. She was down for 2 days. And when I took my second vaccine, I didn't feel anything. There was no difference. Nothing happened. I didn't feel anything whatsoever. My arm was sore. That was about it. About 3 days later, boom, it was all good. I haven't had any symptoms. Don't feel anything differently. My body is very, very sensitive. I don't feel anything differently than I felt before. All right. I feel essentially the same. All right. Good morning to you. So there it is. AP, nearly all COVID-19 deaths in the United States now are in people who weren't vaccinated. Let me see. AP analyzed figures provided by the CDC, that Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. If this is in fact true, then this becomes yet another reason to push people. This story will probably push people to get vaccinated. Why did I get the vaccine? I got the vaccine because I need to get out in the world. I feel like I've been shut in with COVID, and I've got things to fucking do. Okay. And the other thing is that I am a cardiac patient. I had a heart attack in February 2020. Really, to be honest with you, people in my situation were supposed to be front in line. I could have got the vaccine first, but I chose not to. The reason why, as they say, is because people with conditions like mine, they don't know what the complications could be. You can get COVID and die. It could take you out the game. I don't want to leave the game yet. I like being alive. I got a good thing going here. I got a little boy, a little girl, a beautiful wifey, and a bright future. All right. So I don't want to leave the game right now. That's why I did it. And it took a lot of soul searching. It wasn't easy. The wifey, she had to do it for work. You know, her job, she's just gonna be out. And she knew it. If not for that, she probably wouldn't have gotten it. And then having seen her get it, I'm like, she did it. You know, we both gonna go out together, you know, on some Bonnie and Clyde type ish. You know what I'm saying? We both going. But it didn't work out that way. So I feel great. I don't feel any difference. I haven't had any side effects. I tried to see if I could magnetize my arm. I was hoping it would magnetize, but it won't magnetize. I'll be putting magnets there and metal and shit. Nothing happens. So it is what it is. If something should change, you'll be the first to know. I'll let you know first. Like, I'm feeling weird. But so far, so good. I feel great. No Facebook weapon used against me will prosper. That's hilarious. Hey, listen, take a second to share this to wherever you think people might check it out. Maybe it's your page. Maybe it's your page. Maybe tag a bunch of your friends and let them know where we are this morning. We ain't going nowhere. Ain't nothing stopping. Yeah, so nearly all COVID-19 deaths in the United States are now among unvaccinated people. Does that news make you want to get vaccinated if you're not? That's a hell of a decision, and everybody's got to make their own decision. Do what's best for you. But to me, it's like, because we got to get back out in the world. About 63% of all vaccine eligible Americans, those 12 and older, have received at least one dose, and 53% are fully vaccinated. That's according to the CDC. 53% of adults in America are vaccinated. Let me see. 98 to 99% of Americans dying of coronavirus are unvaccinated. That's what the article is reading. I know I've read it several times. So what does that say to you? You tell me. Jenny writes, good morning, Nate and the Choppers. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good to see you. Caramel writes, Grand Rising, folks. Good to see you. Anthony writes, morning, Chop Shops. Brian Taylor writes, good morning. Taking a breather in Florida. I will have some important updates on the struggle soon. Okay. Appreciate you, brother. Down in Florida, huh? All right. Isn't this the same guy who supports Ray Caruth? Yes, it is. He thinks Ray Caruth is some kind of like black, some kind of dad rights advocate, martyr or something like this. Ray Caruth, it was a heartless bastard who I hoped would die in jail. That's what he deserved. He deserved to be beaten with a toilet lid until he was unconscious for what he did to that woman and his unborn son. And I don't have no respect for the dude. It's just some things you should never do and you can't come back from. So you're right about that. Good morning to you. Tanika writes, good morning, Nate and Choppers. I was on Facebook. I kept getting Facebook notifications because a lot of people went up to Columbus on Thursday. I wasn't able to attend, but I just want to say, send positive vibes to all the people that went up there representing Cincinnati, representing the electorate, representing black voters. And they had a rally. I saw many of the videos. Props to everybody. I know the NAACP was out there. I'll say it again. That's why I've always supported them, because I can see they're on some real ish. I can see it. And if you're on some real ish for our community, you got an ally, period. Simple as that. So it was beautiful to see people raising awareness out there and talking about what they're trying to do with the state of Ohio. It's pretty beautiful. All right. I love it. Caramel writes, some things not right about Shaun King. Many people have questioned his motive. Caramel, you're absolutely right about that. I don't deny it. You're absolutely right. A lot of people question his motives. Is he in it for the money? You're right about that. And perhaps there's a lot to be suspicious of. All I ever ask people to do is tell me why. You think he's whatever, give me your reasons why, and then we can make up our own decision. Let me see. Give this dog a biscuit. Nate, let the dog out. He's sitting in the house again. Brian writes, epic moment where Fame and I are on a similar page. What? Y'all agreeing? That's a good thing. Nate, let the dog out. He in the house again. Cass writes, hey, Choppers. Good to see you. Anybody say Choppers? Anime. Iris writes, Al Gerharstein and Shaun King are two different people doing totally different things. Al G is a civil rights attorney with a 40-year history of representing people and fighting for their rights. Well said, Sister Iris. Yeah, he likes to conflate, and I think he's only doing it because he's white. Because Shaun King is white, and so is Al Gerharstein. But to say they're the same two people, I think, is unfair to both of them. Specifically Al Gerharstein, from what I've seen, but we all got our opinions. Brian writes, not on him being white, don't care about his ethnicity. King is not faking the funk. He just fosters illusions in the systems and has whack positions on things. He is an example of a paid activist. Kamika writes, that's a valid critique of Brian Taylor. The low blows and pettiness diminish the argument. Right. So I'm trying to figure out. I'm not saying that when it relates to Shaun King, there are some legitimate observations, critiques, and issues. I just want to hear what they are. It's got to be better than uh he's white and he's got a doorman. He wrote a book. Everybody's writing books these days. I mean, it just comes with the territory. There's got to be more to that, but it is what it is. Let me see. Roots Tafari writes, Morning Choppers. What's up, Roots? Daryl writes, why is he obsessed with gayness? Fame, why are you worried about people's sexuality? He does seem to be. You show me somebody, and again, this ain't about fame, but, if the shoe fits, whatever. But when I hear people getting caught up on another man's sexuality, it makes me suspect about their sexuality. I don't give a damn about what another man is doing in his bedroom or with somebody's. I don't care. So what? It means nothing to me. Fame, I'm gonna live forever. Rack 'em. That's Just Teach. Danita writes, is anyone disgusted after this caller? See, Brian writes, Fame, so I've been saying the same about D-Ray for years, and I had receipts on him and King. See, if you got receipts, I want to see him. Caramel writes, why is Shaun King fundraising off of Tamir's name without his mother's permission? That's a valid question. That is a valid question. That's a very valid question, Caramel. Jesse writes, LOL, Fame is crazy. Tracy writes, my retirement home is going to have a doorman. Timothy Loman killed Tamar Rice. Yes, he did. Coward. Brandy writes, good morning, happy Friday. We made it. We did. Shante writes, Derek Chauvin getting sentenced today. Let's pray for life without parole. Good morning, all. Hold on, I'm getting messages. Good morning to you. Okay, cool. Roots writes, magnets and metal. That's right. Cash writes, that seems suspect to me. They already going hard offering millions of dollars to bribe people to get vaccinated. What better way to entice fear than to say unvaccinated people are dying? You would be absolutely right. Like in the conspiratorial suspect kind of way, Cash, you 100% right. By the way, check out Cass and Britt, the Melanin Insights podcast, Sundays at 5:30 p.m. on Facebook, and connect with them at their Facebook page as well, Melanin Insights. You're right about that. That's one way of looking at it. We could get all suspicious and, conspiratorial and all that kind of stuff. Or it could be that those are the facts. And that it could be the facts are that the vast majority of people who are dying of COVID right now are the unvaccinated. It would make sense. It would make sense because, I don't have these numbers, but I wonder if you looked at the number of people you looked at the people who've already died of COVID, right? They were probably unvaccinated too. So it makes sense. Like all them people that was dying before they got the vaccine died unvaccinated. So it could just be that this is a statistical current, right? That's just what it is. Like if you're unvaccinated, you got some underlying conditions, depending on your body chemistry and how your body reacts, you might be more susceptible to having a serious reaction and or dying. You know what I'm saying? Just think about it. Like before they got the vaccine, all them people that died of COVID were unvaccinated, right? When they got the vaccine, everybody didn't jump on it at first. Probably most of the people that died were unvaccinated. And now that the vaccine is circulating, it would make sense that more of the people who are unvaccinated are dying from it. A couple ways of looking at it. Tabitha writes, happy Friday. Happy Friday. I am looking forward to that movie called Karen. Now, I'm not going to go to the movie theaters because I don't really do movie theaters anymore. It had to be a big movie, and I had to have some really good company or something like that. But right now, I got a little Fire Stick. Man, I'm watching all the movies. I'm watching all the cable stuff. For one low price, don't tell anybody, right? Keep it between us. On my lips, I'm doing my ventriloquism. My lips are not moving. My lips are not moving right now. Anyway, so I'm not really interested in going to a movie theater, but I hope it comes out. It was on BET, so hopefully it comes out, digitally, and I'll check it out then. But it's got a very interesting premise. I was looking at some of the comments, and people are back and forth about whether they're going to see it or not. I wants to see it. I wants to see it. Danita writes, don't forget to take a second and hit the X on the live chat so you can hit that like button. Likes and shares help push the show up on the algorithm on YouTube. You're so right about that, Danita. Thank you so much. It absolutely does. And this has happened before. What will happen is once YouTube sees that people like it, then they'll start suggesting it to people that are not subscribers. It's already happened. I've had people say, yeah, it just came up on my suggestion feed. I'm like, word? We was on suggested feed on YouTube? Yeah. Yeah, boy. I'm with that. Jordan writes, Brian, if you're in Miami, check out Little Haiti in the Black Archives. Brown Legs writes, good morning, Nate and the Choppers. Get to the Choppers. Nat writes, Shaun King says his father is black. I don't know either way. I don't know. My thing with Shaun King is where there's smoke, there's fire. Can't deny that. And if dude is as conniving, calculating, if he's using the black paint, it's going to come out. Watch. You can't do shit like that and it never comes out. It'll come out eventually. All of it. All of it. Let me see. Good morning. Black Lives Matter. No matter who takes it. Alt middle. Yeah, Graxton keep talking about that, huh? Graxton thinks that black people don't care when black people kill other black people. You couldn't be further from the truth, man. I'm telling you, all the people I know, family and professionally, but everybody cares about this. And what I will say to you, Graxton, is the same thing I said to you before. If you really care about this, then what you gonna do about it, bro? Like if you feel like people ain't out there front center when when there is a tragic shooting and the perpetrator is black and the victim is black, then you need to fill that gap. Then you fill it. You fill that gap. So for me, I put my money where my mouth is. So for me, I'm a media dude. I'm a platform creative kind of dude. That's what I have to add to the culture, right? So for me, I looked at the city I looked at and I'm thinking, you know what? We need an independent voice, a black independent voice. So that's what I did. I'm doing it. So if you really feel that way, Grax, and you feel like nobody's in that space, then fill the space. Fill it. You do it then. You know what I'm saying? That's what I would say, right? What's more empowering than doing shit for yourself? Nothing. Darlene writes, I don't believe everything that's being said about the vaccines. Just because they put it out there doesn't mean it's all true. Vaccine. Darlene, I'm with you 100%. I'm with you 100%, 1,000%. I could not agree with you more. It's the reason why I didn't take the vaccine when I was first in line as a cardiac patient. I could have been the first person at the hospital if I had chosen to do that because of my conditions. But we'll all have to make our decisions for ourselves. But I'm just saying, think about this logically, Darlene. It's being reported that the majority of people who are dying of COVID-19 are unvaccinated. It makes sense. Because if you go back to last year, before there was a vaccine, everybody who died were unvaccinated. Even after they rolled out the vaccine, I haven't looked at the numbers, but something tells me that the majority of the people who were dying of COVID were dying and you're unvaccinated. So it still stands to reason that would be the constant even today. That kind of makes sense to me, but I don't know. Mimi writes, Shaun King responded to Tamir Mother's claims. His team and her team had a meeting a week or so ago. He said the meeting was very friendly and they came to an agreement to work together. Okay, let me look at Shaun King, huh? What's up? Said he was a clout chaser. There's a lot of clout chasers out here. He could be. I don't know. Let me see. Stop hustling Black Death. I'm on a website called The Cut. Samaria Rice is the mother of Tamir, not a mother of the movement. Liked it. Who wrote this? Looks like it's interesting. Let me see here. Written by Imani Perry for thecut.com. I haven't read it yet, but it looks pretty interesting. Let me put this in the chop shop. You can check it out for yourself. This might be some good reading for you later on. Let me check this out. She said, I'm Tamir's mother, not a mother of the movement. Tabitha writes, I heard on WLW that some younger kids got the shot and it caused heart inflammation. Listen to Bill Cunningham show sometimes. I have heard that as well. I've heard that as well. I think that is a real thing. Let me see. Shaun King, I think I read that. Appreciate you. Let me jump inside the chop shop. Brenda writes, happy Friday. Ray writes, good risings all. Sharp writes, TGIF, Nate and the Choppers. Good morning to you. Ashley writes, morning, Nate and the Choppers. Happy Friday. Glenn writes, morning, Nate and the Choppers. Hashtag Flo's ready to eat for everybody. Hashtag free Chris Matthews. We still doing that? Hashtag Bob Barker, spay and neuter all pets and Gilligan's. Oh, man. You just can't make this shit up, man. Let me see. As someone said in the chop shop, former officer Derek Chauvin is set to be sentenced for the murder of George Floyd today. And I hope he goes to jail for at least 30 years. They should throw the book at this barbarian. They should throw the book at this barbarian. Remember, Derek Chauvin was convicted in April on charges of second-degree unintentional murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter for his role in Floyd's death. Prosecutors for the state of Minnesota requested a 30-year prison sentence, saying it would properly account for the profound impact of the defendant's conduct on the victim's family, and the community. I agree. This would be good for the whole world if Derek Chauvin gets 30 years. And I hope that's the max, whatever the max is. Now, I don't believe in the death penalty because innocent people don't deserve to be sitting on death row and or killed by whatever state they live in. But life, I'm for that. Derek Chauvin is 45 years old. What is life like for a former police officer? Don't they spend most of their time sequestered or isolated is a better way of putting it? 30 years of isolation. Former police officer, now you surrounded by criminals, the same folks you helped to lock up. That's like some Batman animated series type shit. So I'd have no problem with that whatsoever. I hope he goes to jail for as long as they possibly can put his ass in jail. And his defense attorney is being reported that his defense attorney is asking the court to look beyond this situation, to look at his background, his lack of criminal history. And they want him to be eligible for probation at some time in the near future. Now, he don't deserve that. Derek Chauvin deserves to go to jail for as long as he possibly can and nothing less than that. He put his knee on this brother's neck for nearly 10 minutes. Even when you had bystanders looking on saying, look, even when the man wasn't responsive, he deserves, what Derek Chauvin deserves is for the family of George Floyd to catch up with him and deal with him directly. That's what he really deserves. That would be real justice. To be honest with you. That's not going to happen. Like if I read that some way, somehow the family of George Floyd caught up to Derek Chauvin and took him out the same way he took out their family, that's justice. That's not going to happen. The next best thing is he goes to prison and has to deal with that whole prison life. I have no problem with that either. Whatever it takes. Simple as that. 3 other officers who were on the scene during Floyd's fatal arrest have pled not guilty. Their trial is set for March of 2022. Now, why is that trial a whole nother year away from now? So we got to relive this again? I like all mine at one time. Do it all at one time. Do it all at one time, in my opinion. Good morning to you. I hope you're doing well. Let me see here. What about the 300 that has died from the vaccine? They say since it's a low number, people should still get the shot. I say do what you do what you want, do what you want, do you. Right. I agree with you. Do what you want, do you. You're right. That's any medicine. But yes, with the vaccine, there's been some reactions. I've seen some crazy stuff. Like somebody had a huge tongue. Other person had like some other things that was breaking out with all kind of skin irritations. It's scary. Yeah, I thought about that. But other than my cardiac event, and especially at this point, I feel like I'm relatively healthy. And like I told you, I'm in a unique situation. So Danita writes, I'm sorry, but I can't take information from the Bill Cunningham show and WLW seriously without fact checking it myself. That is like listening to Fox News. It's just like listening to Fox News. But it doesn't mean they don't give out facts from time to time. And from what I've been reading, there has been a reaction in some young people in terms of inflammation in their heart. And what you got to understand is that this whole thing, COVID-19, the vaccines, young people, older people, they're still studying this. This is all new. I was at the grocery store yesterday. I was one of the few people to have a mask on. And now when I see other people with masks on, I feel like we understand each other, right? These are my people. Like the people out there that still have masks on, vaccinated or not vaccinated, in buildings, you're my people, right? We're the same kind of folks. I identify and agree with you. I get it completely, 100%. So even though I'm fully vaccinated, I'm still wearing a mask just because. You know what I'm saying? Why not? Beth writes, good morning. Good Friday morning, all. Bold Writing writes, the new Delta variant ravished India, where doctors were so overwhelmed, one hospital left the patients to die because they were tired of facing angry family members. Yeah, this Delta variant, they're saying it's in every state. And they're saying that it's potentially far more deadly than, the original COVID variant, whatever that's called. Let's go back to the phone, shall we, and say good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning, Nathan. It's Kev on the cell.
Hey, what's up, Kev?
Trying to make it, man. I am, I'm sorry. I was told I shouldn't say that anymore. I'm making it. So I am, I just want to bring to light a fact, okay? 300, the current, the population based on 2019 was 328 million. And so 300 is 0.00091, right, of the population, percent of the population. So 300 is 300 millionth, or I'm sorry, less than 1 millionth of the current population. And we're using that as a reason why you shouldn't get vaccinated? Nah, doesn't work for me, bro. That's bad math. That's bad math any day of the week. If you got almost 600,000 people who have died, or not almost, if you have 600,000 people who have died from COVID in one country, that ain't worldwide. I keep telling people COVID ain't just in America. COVID can't be some conspiracy against the president of the United States if it exists in every country, variably every country in the world. It cannot be a figment of someone's imagination here. We only talk about here, but this is a worldwide thing. It's called a pandemic, not an epidemic. An epidemic would be local, right? So we're saying don't get vaccinated because 300 people had a negative reaction. I'm going to tell everybody listening, I am allergic to fish. It sucks to be allergic to fish. I have family members who the only thing it seems they know how to. Everybody's pescatarian. You know what I'm saying? But because I'm allergic to fish, Nathan, doesn't mean that you're allergic to fish. That's a reaction that my body has. That is the anomaly of everything. Almost everything in the world, there is somebody that has some negative reaction to it. Somebody somewhere generally has some reaction to pretty much everything that exists, right? That's not good. That doesn't make good sense, man. Now, if you keep saying, yeah, this is an experiment and I don't want to be a part of the experiment, I get it. That makes sense. But if you start seeing that according to the experiment, the people who are not vaccinated are living, and the people who are vaccinated, the people who are not vaccinated are dying, and the people who are vaccinated are living. Okay, well, I don't know that I want to be in. I want to be in the control group in that instance. The control group is the person that actually got the antidote. It's not an antidote because that's not what it is, but got the vaccination and lived. Because the other group is the minority. That's the smaller group. That's the sample size. The sample size are the people that are dying. I don't want to be in that group. I don't want to be part of that group. So, I'm cool with, every whatever for not getting vaccinated. If you don't get vaccinated, it ain't gonna change my life, honestly. Unless you related or close to me, and then I'm gonna feel some kind of way if you pass away. I'm gonna miss you. I mean, even that is not gonna change how I'm living my next day, other than the fact that I'm going to miss you. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. Get out there, and I just think we need to start pushing on facts, not hyperbole. We need to start pushing on, especially for us. I'm not. You know who I mean by us? We talk about it every day. If we're the ones that are the highest, are the people that are getting disaffected the most, then we need to be really steadfast. Whatever, I don't care what adjective you use. We need to be front and center on making sure that we, number one, are not part of some disinformation campaign. I'm telling you, that comedian that said it the best, man. He said all these folks that look like us are saying they ain't taking the vaccine, while old white people are going to Compton to get a shot. Generally, old white people are not going to Compton. So I'm just pushing for our people, man. Most of the people I know that have gotten shot. For myself, I had a 2-hour bout with some infirmities, that was basically it. And that was during actually the second shot, not the first one. And that was it. I had a headache for about an hour. And I think that was my body saying, oh, you learning how to reject something? Well, it's going to be a little bit discomfort. I got a shot for muscle measles, rubella. I didn't get one for chickenpox. I didn't get any of those other things, and I got chickenpox. Do what's best for yourselves, but I want next year, I really don't care about anything else than next year, when we're celebrating the fact that Nathan's had another year of success, that y'all are here to listen. That's all I care about. Other than that, there is no, I don't have any, this is not a paid promotion. That's for the vaccine. Yeah. Man, it's Friday. Nate, it's Friday. Today is a great day to have a great day. Do something great. Find a candidate to support. Do not find candidates who don't have platforms. Don't push for people who ain't pushing for you. It ain't that hard. And if anybody from anywhere else starts talking about Cincinnati politics who cannot vote, God notice I threw that in there, who cannot vote, who cannot vote, let them know that while your opinion matters to us and we will take it wholeheartedly, it is not a deciding factor in how we're going to run our politics here. I appreciate you, bro. Be blessed. Have a great day.
You
That's
too.
all I can.
Kev on the cell. Appreciate it. Man, it's passionate about waking people up about and interacting with the system. I appreciate it. Hey, listen, let me take a quick pause, family. Let me take a quick pause, step away for about 3 minutes or so. We'll come right back. It's the Nathan Ivy Show. We live, we local, we vocal, broadcasting live from a secret location in the greater Cincinnati area. And we'll be right back.
Wait. Lately I've been low down, losing all control.
Henny with the soda. I've been on the road, life been taking toll. I just wanna roam, I've been running from them bad days, tryna take it slower. Party on occasion, I should ease the weight off my shoulders, yeah. I said we only getting older, yeah. Tell me, are you coming over? I need to know, is you falling through? Tell me what the move is, girl, it's been a cool minute, yeah. I just wanna know, tell me what's the hold up, wanna get to know ya. Girl, I wanna show you, yeah, that I've got all the things you need from me. I wanna hear you say you still believe in me. I just wanna know. Tell me it's the real thing. Tell me it's the real thing. I just wanna know. Tell me it's the real thing. I just wanna know. Tell me it's the real thing. Tell me it's the real thing. I just wanna know. Tell me it's the real thing. I just wanna feel something real. Lately I've been low down, losing all control, I admit it. All this Tennessee hit my limits. This might be all the here, let me finish. I get it, I know you tease me, love me for the leisure, only for the eve. See you searching for the meaning. Hate the way we treat this. Why you in a rush? Know you got no business leaving. Why you always leaving? Know you want that repeat. Yeah, it ain't no way around it. We've got a danger about us. You got your way about you, now much to say about it. Still have your way around me. They say we're something special. Is it better when we left it? All this inside of my head. Know when you're ready, I just wanna know. Tell me it's the real thing. Tell me it's the real thing. I just wanna know. Tell me it's the real thing. I just wanna know. Tell me it's the real thing. Tell me it's the real thing. I just wanna know. Tell me it's the real thing. I just wanna feel something real.
Quick break, everybody. Welcome back. Let me check the phone lines. Yeah, we got a call on the line. Let's go straight to it and say good morning. Hey, good morning. Welcome to the show. Yo, good morning.
Hey, good morning, comrade.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How you doing on Friday?
It's excellent, man. Off to a great start.
That's good to hear. I'm out here getting my exercise on.
Oh, really? A lot to hear, man. A lot to hear. What you doing? Getting that walk in, getting that cardiovascular in?
You know it. Yeah, got to do that. I'm 40. Hell, I know people who had heart attacks that played college football with me. It was a quarterback. He had a heart attack like at 30. How old was Jimmy?
Wow.
Jimmy was like 37. This happened probably he was a little older than me at the time, so he's probably been gone now about 6-7 years. But he was the starting quarterback, strong as an ox. And unfortunately, man, at the age of 37, I think he passed away from a heart attack. He was from Louisville, and I worked got around. And it was just tragic.
Damn. Sad to hear that, man. Yeah, it's cardiovascular. Cardiac arrest, man. Cardiovascular disease is kicking us out. It's killing us.
Black men for sure. You know. So yeah, if you got to walk, do something. You know. But I heard Kev, and generally I don't agree with Kev on a lot of stuff, but I do agree with him on one particular thing he said. One thing he said was, if you don't live in the city proper, you can have an opinion about the politics down here, but you don't have really a say. You can't vote. Mason Mahler, or Mason Mall, like I call him. Other folks who live in Fairfield, who remain nameless. If you don't live in our community, You know, you can save your opinion on what's going on in Cincinnati. Worry about what's going on in your community, you know, because last I checked, some Mason City Council member was up there at the Capitol January 6th. And that person right now is a sitting member of Mason City Council. So if I was really about that life and I lived in Mason, Warren County, I'd be trying to get that dude up out of there instead of worried about putting my nose where stuff don't belong. I'd be trying to get that buster up out of here. You gonna storm the Capitol? You couldn't be my council member at all. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, people just need to worry about their own communities instead of worry about everybody else. We respect the fact that you're from Cincinnati, but if you decide not to stick around with us, we got it. You worry about Mason and Fairfield and all those other lovely suburbs. But here's where Kevin's off base though, because he's trying to tell people who are voting. Hang on one second.
All right, we got Black Russia.
I'm sorry.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry. I didn't want that truck noise to get a handle on the show. But Kevin said something that is just fundamentally wrong, especially in the city council race. He said, don't vote for nobody who don't have a platform. Well, guess what, Kev, on the sale? If you live in the city, you're not going to be voting for a platform with these city council members because it's an at-large race. You're going to vote for the name that you remember. If you can say the person's name 50,000 times, you're probably going to vote for him. It's just the nature of the race. So whoever does the best job of getting their name out there is going to win. Damn, a platform. If it was all about platforms, most of the listeners who live in the city proper probably would have voted for Michelle Dillingham over Jeff Pastor. But Pastor, you can say his name 50,000 times. It was easy. And he was a black man. So, hey, I venture out here to say that a lot of people voted for Jeff who didn't vote for Dillingham. And now we got two TQL stations. So just, you know, hey, him saying that the platform matters, it really don't. It really matters about how many people's names you can say. Because that's just the nature of the race. So, Kev, hey, get educated, brother. What do you think's going to happen to the show? You think they're going to run on the max or not?
Say it one more time.
They're going to run Derek Chauvin the max today or not?
I think he gets the max, close to it.
I think they're going to split the baby. I want him to get the max too, but just knowing how this is going to go, you know, these judges are elected. If he runs this guy to max, the FOP is going to run him out of town. So I think he's going to get about 15 years. I was just shocked that his attorney asked for probation. If I was a judge, I'd be kind of mad, like, you try to play me, homie. But, you know, you got to be shoot your shot. So just off that, I'd have gave him like 20 to 30. But with the probably looking at, I think the prosecutors asked for 30, he's going to probably get 15. Because that is the top for the first offense of a second-degree murder, from what I read. So the max, technically for him, is going to be 15 years. And I think that's what's going to happen. That's just my thought, but smart people probably know better.
All right, brother. Anything else?
Yeah. Kev told me to pick a candidate to support. I'm supporting the Vice Mayor, Christopher Smithman, for County Commissioner.
Over Stephanie Summerall Dumas?
Over Stephanie Dumbass? Yeah. That's an easy call.
You're wrong for that. You're wrong for that.
It's an easy call, bro. Who has deeper roots in the black community in the city proper?
Yeah, but what is Christopher Smithman going to bring to the table that Stephanie Summerall Dumas is not, other than that pseudo-Republican BS? I mean, what is he going to do that isn't already being done?
Well, what are you talking about?
I'm just saying, what do I gain by taking Christopher Smithman over Stephanie Summerall Dumas?
Oh, I can tell you a lot. First
Really?
off, you get an individual. Yeah, I'm about to run it. All right. First off, you're going to get 12 years of city council experience. Okay. Next, you're going to get somebody who has deep ties to the black community. You can't forget, and you can never separate this. The vice mayor was the president of the NAACP Cincinnati branch for a long time.
That was years ago,
7
though.
years.
Bro, that was years ago. And since then, he's turned his back on the black community.
No, he didn't turn his back on the black community at all.
Yeah, he did.
Black folks, no, he didn't. Look, check this out. These are the numbers, okay? In 2017, the vice mayor got the highest vote count he ever got in the black community. Those are the facts. People want to say he got a black voter problem. Absolutely not by the numbers. So when people say he turned his back on the black community, the voters don't think that's the case at all. Black voters don't think that's the case at all. Just some loud, squeaky wheels want to say that. But the reality is people say stuff all the time, but facts are undefeated. He finished fifth. He wasn't on nobody's ticket. Look, think about how powerful that is, bro.
Okay, but you was telling me what I gained from voting for him over Stephanie Summerall Dumas. I love to hear that.
Experience, right. Experience and deep ties to the black community. Those two things off the rip.
But Stephanie Summerall got experience and she got deep ties with the black community. And she never turned her back on black media locally. So
now you went from the black community to black media. Okay, I see what you're doing.
I just don't. Okay, so what else? What else do I gain by voting for Smitherman over Stephanie Summerall Dumas? So far, I remain unconvinced.
Okay, well, you get experience, you get deep ties to the black community, and you get competence. We need competence at the county commission. Alicia Reese is very competent. Denise Treehouse, although I don't agree with all the time, very competent. Stephanie Summerall Dumas, dumbass, incompetent. Totally incompetent.
How is she incompetent?
Look at just read the news, bro. She's incompetent. Look, the only reason she got that seat is because Chris Mondale knew she was incompetent and didn't really want to pick on her and took her too light, and she squeaked by him. Okay? But she's totally incompetent. Look at her record. Okay? Do you know her record? She's been in public office before. Do you know what she's done in public office? F shit up. When she was the village manager of Lincoln Heights, the whole Lincoln Heights Police Department had to be disbanded because she didn't know how to manage that. As she's basically the city manager, but on the village level, they call it the village manager. Totally effed it up. Lincoln Heights lost the police part they had and got the sheriff. Got the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office.
I think the last time you said this on this show, she actually called into the show and set the record straight. I remember that.
She said, I do remember her calling in too, and that's fine. She's allowed to say her piece when she wants to, but she's a politician. She's lying. She's trying to lie about her record. People can go read her record. She totally mismanaged Lincoln Heights Police Department and left now black folks are left to the devices of the Hamilton County Sheriff. Okay, I think she was on. She did something before Forest Park. No record. She has no record. And look at her record now. Because now, if she wants to run again, and I'm hearing she don't because she don't want no smoke. Look at her record the last 3 years as she's been a county commissioner.
Well, let's look at Smitherman's record. Okay, we examined it. So, what is Smitherman's record any better? What has he accomplished on city council?
It's totally better, and this record speaks for itself. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time going over it because, hey, you've covered Smitherman enough to know his record.
I don't know anything. Listen, the only thing I know that he's done is be a part of the charge to go from 4-year terms to 2-year terms, which I think is the bad direction, and then pushing issue 1. Other than that,
you like 4-year terms?
I thought 4-year terms it was more effective. Yeah, I think it was an experiment that we ditched too soon. Oh my goodness, absolutely.
After this term, Nathan, you can really say that after this 2017 term, this is the last term of 4 years.
Yeah,
we've had nothing but chaos. We've had nothing but people subverting government. Now, 2-year terms is where it's at. If the United States Congress people can run every 2 years, damn sure city council can run every 2 years. Well, that's called accountability.
Well, that's like saying if U.S. senators have 6-year terms, then you should have 6-year terms on city council. I mean, it's apples and oranges, so that has no impact.
Not at all.
But again, tell us give us 2 or 3 of the superlatives on Smitherman's resume. What has he been doing? What has he accomplished on city council?
Off top, he led the charge to decriminalize marijuana. He went to clean up what Cecil Thomas messed up. Off the rip. I don't know if you want to challenge that. That's the record.
Anything else?
Yeah. He's led the charge to reduce crime in the city too. Because overall crime is down. And he's been Brown public safety chair for 2 terms now. Overall crime is down. Yes, shootings are up. But he's addressed that even with the budget by leading the charge on getting more police and fire recruiting classes.
Okay.
That's cool. You need a third one?
Yeah. I need as many as possible.
Well, you only asked for 3, so I'm going
to ask for 3. That works.
All right, yeah. So you got FC Cincinnati. He was a big supporter of that. It was 5-4. His vote mattered on that. And he was the chair of economic growth during the time. He led the charge on crafting the deal. The deal, okay? So I gave you 3. Mm-hmm. People may not like those 3. But that record right there is superlative to Stephanie Thoreau dumbass. Mm-hmm. It's not even close. Mm-hmm. Hell, okay. Democrats don't like her. She's down there begging for her money back. Look at this. She took a public stance, basically pandering, even though she ain't had the money, I guess. She was probably broke. But she pandered during the pandemic to cut her salary, right? Then she turns around with her dumb ass and emails the county administrator asking for her money back. Like, she wasn't even smart enough to get up and walk down the hall to keep it off the record. She put it in writing, like, can I get my money back? I mean, this is incompetent governing. It's incompetent. She has to go. She has to go. Mm. Hell, Alicia Reese was the vice mayor of the city. Look what she's doing now. She on county commission. People who have a record of accomplishing stuff deserve promotions. And the vice mayor deserves a promotion. Mm-hmm. Stephanie Dumas has no record. If somebody can tell me what a record is down in county commission, or maybe she can call in to give you her record. Because I don't know what the hell she's done, bro, other than beg for money back. And hire Bishop Bobby Hilton down there. And he's totally incompetent. He's never governed before. He ain't ran for office. He ain't never ran no campaign. All of it here, chief of staff. Maybe they praying every day. I don't know what the hell they're doing down there. Maybe that's all they're doing is praying.
All they're doing is praying.
It's a clown show, bro. It's a clown show. But have a good weekend. Whoever want to challenge what I said, I'm listening. I'm here for it.
All right,
I got time today.
You got time today. Okay, cool. Keep listening. Appreciate the call. So I could tell that he is an unapologetic supporter of Christopher Smitherman. I remain unconvinced. Even about the so-called accomplishments that he claims had happened. They seem, that's not how I recall things. But the voters will decide for themselves. We shall find out. And you know me, I'm going to reach out to Stephanie Summerall Dumas and have her see if she's available to come on the show. She can speak for herself. I know she can tell you herself what she's doing and what she's not doing, which I think is fair. Same thing for Mr. Smitherman. We hear from yourself. You can call in and tell us what you've actually done rather than somebody else. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Mr. Nathan Ivey and the people of Cincinnati, as well as the people around the world. And yes, those choppers. Good morning, sir. How are you today?
Good morning. Good morning, sir. Are you in Florida, John?
Yes, I'm still in Florida. A little cloudy today. A brisk sun pops in and out. Before we get to the subject matters of usual that goes on across this country, across the state, I know everybody's locked into Florida. Seeing that terrible accident of that collapse, looked like 12 or 14-story building. I'm really sick and tired of watching it. I have to tune away from it every now and then because I get tired of watching it. But it's a terrible accident, or should we say it's an accident? I've often said infrastructure in this country. I think I brought it up to you a couple of times. Anybody that gets an infrastructure bill passed will be president for life. I mean, the last time that infrastructure in this country was worked on was Roosevelt, over 60 years ago. And every congressman and president and governor, they all fought for years stating they were going to work on the infrastructure. Well, day of reckoning has come. Well, Biden looks like he's going to sneak it in, or will he sneak it in, this infrastructure piece by piece? Well, he got it passed, but it's not quite passed yet. Let's see how that goes. But getting back to that, should we say, tragedy, as 99 people, probably missing, 4 dead. They're not saying how many other people they might have pulled out of there, but I think over 104 people missing in this, should we say, mess. But I've often stated, Florida is an island built on water. You cannot build cement and brick and lima on top of sand and water. It just doesn't work. Mother Nature eventually will come. And they did state, and now the evidence is coming up about that building. It was being, should we say, not fined, but They had problems with that building a year ago. All the dirt's going to come out. It may take years to find out, but the building had problems. And if that building had problems, then other buildings in that area is going to have problems. They said the water level in Florida has been rising over the years anyway. So once again, Mother Nature is coming into play, and it does catch up with you eventually. So to live on trying to build on top of water and sand, people, it just doesn't work. So, this is a mess, and the bodies will, yes, will add up. It's going to add up. I've never been happy with, to me, I've always about beach and oceans. I've always believed nice to visit, yeah, but I wouldn't want to stay because hurricanes, storms, and everything else. And it's mostly these white people. Oh, they got to be near the water. They got to need to be in the sand. Yeah, you can have it. I'll stay inland and up in the mountains where you can get away from the mess. Yes, I'm here for now. How long I'm going to be here, I don't know. But this is clear evidence that now people, apartment buildings, probably in the state of Florida, as well as across the country, people are scrambling, checking their paperwork, apartment owners. They're all scrambling, looking, making sure they're up to code, making sure the inspector, that's the key. You know who's going to take the fall. The low guy down the totem pole in Florida is going to take the fall. The guy that the inspector and what he or she was doing. And the governor and his legislators, everybody's photo ops for the last 3 years to make it look good like they're doing their job. But they haven't been doing their job. And the body counts, and lawyers are probably down there lining up their pockets, giving out business cards. It's going to take years to figure this thing out. But the key is people across the country, at the sound of my voice, as you listen to the Nathan Ivy store, if you're in a high-rise apartment building and you see cracks, you're supposed to do something. You're not in the building, cracks in the buildings. You're supposed to do something. You don't sit back and look the other way. Because just because what you see in Florida doesn't mean it cannot happen in Cincinnati or Kentucky or Texas or California. It does happen. The infrastructure, once again, is in bad shape in this country, and it's got to be fixed. And people in their apartment buildings, they got to shore up the buildings and do what you're supposed to do instead of paying out money, living in a building that it might be collapsing right before your eye. It could happen to you. You may say, "Oh, it'll never happen to me." Well, really? You think so? The infrastructure in this country is in bad shape. It's always been in bad shape for over 60 years. And as Malcolm X used to say, yes, the chickens are coming home to roost. That's the title of my book coming out last year. I'll give you a little glimpse. I know, Nathan Ivy, you want your own personal signed copy. Yes, I will send it off to you. And I promise you, at the sound of my voice, the first interview I'm doing is with Mr. Nathan Ivy
Okay,
in
cool.
his studios, but I'll get the book to you in a week in advance so you can dissect the book, go through it, pick and choose. So you'll have your questions lined up and I'll be ready. I won't interview nobody else before I come to visit the Nathan Ivy
I
show
appreciate
first.
that, John. You should be with us first. No, don't do that, son. Sorry about that. Yeah, you should
And
be with us
yes,
first. You should be with us first. I appreciate that. When is it dropping?
well, I'm hoping just before the holidays, just before Christmas, if things stay
Okay.
on track. I'm finished. It's gone off to the editor, went to the proofreader 3 or 4 times, and now designing the cover and layout. That's going to take a little time. So all the hard work over the 7 years of this book I've been working on is going to hopefully pay off. And I think everybody, it basically is the memoirs of my life. It's the chickens have come home to roost. Subtitle slash having my say, the autobiography of Lawrence E. Walker. I think everybody should write their memoirs of their life history before they leave this earth. So you can leave something behind to your kids and your kids' kids so they'll know who Nathan Ivy is or who you are and what you've gone through. That's the focus of my book. I talk about my life and I weave, because I'm into history, I'm into history. I weave in and out of the chapters. I give you dibs and dabs of history. And I talk about the time I was born until present day today. So it's
Well, John, we don't want to go through the book right now, but I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm down with the interview.
All right. One question before I let you go is the writers. January the 6th, I see Nancy Pelosi is pushing forward with trying to get this committee together to investigate the January the 6th, which I think is a waste of time because you're not going to hold nobody accountable. It's going to remind me so much of 9/11. It's just a waste. You're going to get a 500, 800-page book, but in the end, nobody will be held accountable. Yeah, point fingers at some Republicans that you're going to find out that are part of the mess that went on in January 6th. But your quick assessments of that, and I'll hang up and I'll listen.
Okay, appreciate the call. Number one, good to hear from you, John. I was thinking I hadn't heard from John from Florida in a minute. Appreciate you and excited about your book. I agree with you. Everyone should write their memoirs, even if you don't publish it, and it might be interesting to your family, your children, things like that. I think you're right, but I think that they should do it. I think that Nancy Pelosi should put together whatever they need to do a public investigation about January 6th. I think for two reasons. One is more substantive than the other. Like one as a pure facts finding mission, right? So we can ascertain the truth and then to work to make sure that as much as possible it doesn't get recreated. Okay, we need to know exactly who was involved and what happened on January 6th to help prevent it happening again. And all the things involved, like why was there such a difference between January 6th and when Black Lives Matter the summer before went to Congress? Why is there such a big difference? Who was in charge? Who made these decisions? Do we have Judases among us? Are there people that were working against the overall best interests of Congress and security that day? They need to be rooted out and dealt with. And then secondly, politics. If the Republican Party was a part of this, and they were, then from a political standpoint, the Democrats should play it out as much as possible. Think about what the Republicans did when they was in charge. They kept having these symbolic votes about Benghazi, and they kept having these symbolic votes about the ACA, the healthcare, Obamacare. Hey, if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. It's good for everybody. So for those two reasons, I think and I hope that they should move forward with it. I want to know. I want to know exactly what happened. And we will never know unless Nancy Pelosi goes through some alternatives, some different methods. Do whatever you got to do, sis. Pay Nate for an advertisement. Right, I'm with you on that. The mayor of Miami-Dade County met with Biden and is seeking financial assistance for the residents of the building. Yeah, whole building just collapsed. Whole building that collapsed, like 51 people, they're missing. Matter of fact, I read initially it was 51 people. Now it's up to like 159 people. Whole building just collapsed. Where they do that at? If you live in Coreyville or live anywhere near the city, the UC's campus, you should drive through UC's campus and buy it. Because right now they're doing like a refresh or a resurfacing of a part of Calhoun Hall. Right? Calhoun Hall is a residence hall. This only stands out to me because it looks like some of the images that I've seen from what happened down in Miami. It's like they just took the front face of the whole side of the building off. It's completely exposed. And Calhoun will always be near and dear to my heart because when we brought little Buddha home from the hospital, we brought her back to our home, the home that my wife had together. At that time, we were living in a residence hall. We were living in Calhoun Hall. My wife was the RC, residence coordinator of that hall. And it was pretty dope. You get a free apartment, free everything, free cable, free eats, man. You couldn't tell us nothing. We was on cloud nine. And we brought little Buddha. It was a nice little apartment too. It was on the first floor as you go into the residence hall. So we brought little Buddha home. So that's always going to be a very special place for us. And then when I first started dating a wifey, I think she lived in Calhoun. So I'm in the residence hall, staying overtime. We know we doing. It is what it is. So How does a building just collapse like that? I don't know. Cash writes, damn, I left and John's still going. I left and read my emails and John's still going. You know he's long-winded. It's been a minute. We haven't talked to him in a while. Jordan writes, I haven't seen any of the black and brown people who worked in those wealthy homes pictured on the media as missing. Kevin writes, Black Russia, the case for voting as a popularity contest is exactly what I'm against. It should not be name recognition you vote for. It should be policy, equity, equity, policy, intangibles. But he wrote policy, equity, intangibles. I agree 100% with you, but I also agree 100% with Black Russia. Unfortunately, a lot of this is going to come down on city council to name recognition. That's what it's going to come down to. That's why people covet these endorsements. That's why people cover the Democrat endorsement, because the Democrats themselves are going to spend a lot of money promoting their slate of endorsed candidates. So it's all about name recognition. And a lot of these candidates, some of them anyway, they don't have a name. They're new faces, which I like. I'm all about new faces. So it's both, but to the casual voter, because people are busy. You're busy. I'm busy. We busy. They busy. We all busy, right? To the casual voter, they don't have time to be getting super, super deep with that. And so a lot of it's going to be name recognition. It is what it is. Blessed or Messy writes, howdy, folks. Good to see you. Good morning to you. Let me see. Blessed or Messy writes, gotta run, good people. It's important to me to stop by and support this platform. Got a mountain to climb. Seriously, really? A real mountain? Or a what? Really? But thank you so much. I appreciate the support. It means everything. Nat writes, Calhoun memories. LOL. Yeah. Man. And Sadal Hall. That was the all-female residence hall. Talk about some good college fun. That was good college fun. Good wholesome fun. Jesse Jackson's been arrested after protesting over a voting rights bill. Jesse out here still getting arrested. If you haven't been arrested, then you don't care, right? Jesse got arrested after a nonviolent protest outside the U.S. Capitol building this week. The Poor People's Campaign held a demonstration in response to the filibuster used by Republicans to block a voting rights bill in Congress. Again, the reason why the Republicans did that is because because they're trying to legally rig the system on the state level. And since they're doing that, why would they allow the federal level, a bill on the federal level, to undo what they've already set in place? They're not going to do that. It's all politics. Simple as that. You don't like it, do something about it. You don't like it, do somebody. Hey, raise your hands. Well, I won't go there. Let me go here as well. So I was watching this, and it gets really deep into the music. Like some of this gets away from Black culture a bit, but they interweave it and weave it all. It's all interlocked. But I've been watching this new series on Netflix called, matter of fact, let me pull up the. I think I still got the graphic here. Give me 1 second. It's called This Is Pop, and it's real interesting, man. The first episode, they're talking about the impact that Swedish producers have had on American popular music, including, Boyz II Men, including a lot of these big boy bands, and then influencing a lot of the music culture in general. I thought it was very, very interesting. Very interesting. But what we learned is that the success of Boyz II Men spurred copycats, like white copycats, right? Just like Elvis Presley stole from Chuck Berry, Chuck Berry is the real king of rock fucking roll. It was a travesty, I believe, that Elvis Presley was in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame before Chuck Berry. Although I went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland, you could see a big old image of Chuck Berry when you walk in. I was very happy to see that. There would be no Elvis if there was no Chuck Berry. Go back and look at early Chuck Berry, and then you're going to see Elvis Presley doing the same thing with white skin, and white people went crazy. Now, that phenomenon has been going on and on and on and on and on since the beginning of time. Okay, since the beginning of culture, right? And it's still going on. It's still going on, right? That happens in music culture. Like if you want to know what's cool, look at black folks and then look at their children. Look at black teenagers, and that'll tell you what's cool, right? And a lot of white people, they can adopt the style, the swagger, and all this kind of stuff, but they don't have to deal with the burden of actually having melanin in their skin. We know this to be true. Well, the same thing is taking place on TikTok. Did you know this? I'm reading that black TikTokers are refusing to make dance videos as a form of protest over stolen content. What? You talking about the age-old issue of a cultural appropriation is happening on TikTok? Of course it is. Now, I'm not sure if you're on TikTok. You should be because it's pretty entertaining. And maybe you can start your own TikTok channel and you never know. But one of the things that's really big on TikTok are these dance videos. And the people that really started it and do it the best and have the most original content are black TikTokers. But what they've noticed is that what black TikTokers have noticed is that white TikTokers are watching their videos and then copying their dances as if it's their own and getting big old audiences out of it. So they decided to refuse to make a TikTok video or make TikTok videos using the melody and the music of a Megan Thee Stallion song called Thought Shit. It's called Thought Shit. Some of y'all might be on some of that thought-ish. Okay. So that's just the way of the world when it comes to these social media platforms, including TikTok, right? New song comes out, people start making their own videos using a clip of these popular songs. With this particular song in general, black TikTokers are refusing to do it. Quote, for all of my melanated brothers and sisters of the African diaspora, we are on strike. That's from a black TikTok creator, Cap Ken Knuckles, said in a recent video. I'm not sure if you hip to her. And then I'm on a Griot article right now. Then there's all these examples of the black TikTokers doing original videos, and then white TikTokers stealing their vibe and stealing what they see in the video and making their own videos. And, you know, just like with Chuck Berry and Elvis Presley, just like with Usher and Justin Timberlake, just like with Boys to Men and Backstreet Boys. You know, when white folks do it, they have an instant audience and you can sometimes get way bigger than the people that was out there doing it originally. Like, who was bigger, Chuck Berry or Elvis Presley? Wait. We already know it was Elvis Presley. There's probably some people out there that grew up believing that Elvis Presley created all that stuff on his own, but he did not. He was just a white dude that enjoyed rock and roll. He enjoyed Chuck Berry. He was like, oh shit, I can do that. And once he started doing it, it popped off for him. It popped off for him. Same thing with these boy bands. They sat back and watched Boys to Men take off, and they were huge. And then they started creating the Backstreet Boys. They got even bigger. Even bigger. And NSYNC and 98 Degrees, but it all started with them. And New Edition, the Jackson 5. Let me see here. Del Rice, Isaac Hayes' son has a platform similar to TikTok. Get paid. I forget the name of his platform. Does he? I'll be interested in hearing about that. Jenny writes, love the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Why did my phone want to out Tide and Roll? Why did my phone want to out Tide after Roll? I don't understand the second part of that. But the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, you ever go to Cleveland, you should go check it out. It's in a beautiful location on the lake. It is. The building itself is an architectural wonder. It is beautiful. And it sits right on the lake. And they've got a back terrace that's about 3-4 stories high. You can look over the lake. It's absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. You have a good time. You see, we all know Elvis got his dance moves from Forrest Gump. Oh, that's where he got it from. Yeah, right. Even more cultural appropriation that they would suggest that Forrest Gump taught Elvis Presley how to move. No, it was Chuck Berry. Say his name. Goddamn. I have forgotten about that, Danita. You're right about that. Terrence writes, Calhoun was lit. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Terrence writes, this election should present the most educated voter for City Hall candidates. You got a wide range of candidates out there, so I'm sure people will find something that they like. Tabitha writes, I mentioned before there will be Karen copycats, even on TikTok. Again, that's the reason why I used to defend hip hop so much, because look at Eminem. And not to say that Eminem didn't have skills, because you got to have skills. Not to say that the Justin Timberlake type don't have skills. Not to say that Elvis Presley didn't have skills. But that original style and swagger they got from people that look like us, they found a way to make it their own, boom, and took off. That's just the way the world works. Elvis Presley, man. When I was growing up, you couldn't. It was movies. Every time you turn on the damn movies, John Wayne, Elvis Way. You couldn't get Elvis Presley. You couldn't get away from it. You couldn't get away from it. Good morning to you. Let me see here. Oh boy, we don't want to see that. Let me see here. I had a couple of videos I wanted to show you this morning. You in the mood for it? You in the mood for it? Oh man, I like that. I'm down with that. Yeah, buddy. Give me two, please. Give me two, please. Let me see here. Tiffany writes, we are to blame for this as well because we think that it's more entertaining than a white person can dance and do what blacks do. I don't, but at the same time, I can't hate on a white dude if he got skills. You got skills, you got skills. You know what I'm saying? I just call it out. Man, it was an interesting book written. It was an anthology, means it was a collection of articles written by different authors. It's called Everything But the Burden. I reference it from time to time. And each of the authors dissect the phenomenon of cultural appropriation with their own different and independent and unique lenses. It's well worth your time. Now, the book came out in the 2000s, maybe late 90s. It's super dope though for folks that like to break down and hear and read different opinions on that. It's well worth your time. You got some really, really, really dope essays in there on the topic. You think so, Tiffany? You really think that's it? You think we're to blame for it because we think it's funny when Justin Timberlake or something like that? I don't know, Maroon 5, wherever you want to call it. Eminem's got fire. He got flames. I'm glad that he's admitted that, he's a little bit different. Speaking of cultural appropriation, let me talk about Gary Owen for a second. Somebody in the audience made the point that Gary Owen's comedy was going to change a little bit now that he is estranged from his wife, who happens to be black. A lot of people made the argument that him having a black wife gave him license to talk about it. And that was a major part of his comedy. Well, he's got a YouTube channel up called Get Some with Gary Owen. And he puts up clips of his stand-up routines. And what I've noticed is that since the divorce, he doesn't do the whole white dude at the black barbecue thing at all. With the clips that he's posting, none of them are like it was when him and his wife are still together. I hope they make things up and stay together and patch it all together. But it's quite interesting. It's quite interesting. So whoever made that point, you might have been right. Might have been right. All right, folks, 9:30. Listen, I got to make a move. I know I've been ending the show a little bit earlier throughout the day, throughout this week. It's because I got some things. I got a project in front of me that I must finish. I'm super late on it. I must finish this project. And then I got another project I'm starting over the weekend that needs to be done by Monday. So I need this little bit of time here as possible. Plus, I got some other stuff I got to take care of today. So I want to make sure I came to you and gave you a full 2-hour show. I appreciate you. Thank you for checking us out on YouTube. Please share this show. Sharing is caring. It means everything. Have an excellent weekend. Unplug from the matrix. Take care of yourself. Many of you run households. You are the leader of your households. Make sure you take some time for you this weekend. Okay. You can't pour from an empty cup. So pour into your own cup first. All right. Have an excellent day. We'll talk real soon. Enjoy your Friday. Enjoy your weekend. I'll be back with you and hopefully better than ever on Monday morning. Now, no Is It Just Me podcast. Donnie's got some things going on. She'll hopefully be back next Friday. Sunday morning, you can check out Straight Talk Live at 10 a.m. With Edna Howe. Edna's back. Straight Talk Live is back. And also on Sunday at 5:30 p.m., Melanated Insights with Britt and Cass. They've always got an interesting conversation going. And help us support this platform. I really appreciate you. A shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you, each and every one of you, for your donations and what you bring to the table. It means everything. And we'll talk real soon. I'm Nathan Ivy, and I'm out.
Yeah. Talking to my mirror like I love you so much. Curving on my critics like I heard you, so what? You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. Tally all the I ever gave on my head. Lately I've been living like I can't take a loss.